Welcome to another episode of GW Recap. Yours truly, Carter Dudley Jr. George Washington, late rally falls short with a 75-70 loss to UC San Diego. The Colonials fall to 3-2 on the season. James Bishop continued his strong play with 25 points, 4 assists. Brandon Adams, who was huge in the second half, after GW came out fairly flat in the first half. I'll get more than that later on in the show. He added 20 points and 4 rebounds. UC San Diego leading scorer, redshirt junior guard, Bryce Pope, remember the name, came in averaging just under 17 points per game. Walked out the Smith Center with a game high 31 points on the 11 of 16 shooting. And 6'5 junior guard, Jace Roquemore, added 9 points, 3 rebounds, to 3 assists for the Titans. Listen, to start the game, normally the first few games of the season, GW come out, they're flying all over the court defensively. They play with great energy. They always start the game with great energy on both ends, pumping one another up. You even see the energy from the bench, but the energy wasn't there to begin the game against UC San Diego. They came out fairly flat, and San Diego, once they found that rhythm, they made them pay for it. GW was turning the ball over. They were missing shots that they normally make. Meanwhile, UC San Diego was coming down, taking their time, being the more physical team, and picking their spots. And they were executing at will. It was a sight to see because, like I said, you don't normally see GW start that slow. And not only did they start slow, but it kind of lasted the majority of the first half, and that was alarming. Look, UC San Diego, they shot 53% from the field, 54% from three-point range, 3 or 4 from the line, but held GW to 37.5% shooting from the field, 27.3% from deep, and GW shot 57.1% from the free throw line. It was just a totally uncharacteristic first half, and obviously with the explosion Pope had in the first half, where I think he had about 16 points in the first half. He dug a big hole for GW, and that's why they were down 41-25. UCSD scored 15 points off of GW's 8 turnovers, and outscored GW 18-8 in the paint, which is what I meant by they were the more physical team. GW has a lot of height, but they're not always outside Noel Brown. They don't have a lot of girth. They can't really throw their weight around. Whereas UC San Diego have a couple of guys that have the height and can throw their weight around, man. Specifically, Emmanuel Shamaga, they're 7 foot, 270-pound redshirt junior senior. It took a couple dudes to keep him off the boards, and obviously that left room for other guys on UC San Diego to come in there and get the offensive putbacks or grab the defensive rebound. And that was a big part of why GW shot so poorly in the first half and why they were held to 25 points. When they missed, they were usually only held to 1 shot. And then UC San Diego came down the offense, man, ran their sets, executed, and usually got a good look. And, as you can see by the efficiency, they made their shots, man. Like I said, first half, it was just uncharacteristic. They knew coming in, they had to slow down Bryce Pope, who came in as the leading scorer. They tried to trap him, but Pope, man, he's someone you need to check out if you don't know about him. He's a very good player, man. He was patient. He picked his spots, and when he had an opportunity, he seized damn near every one. He made them play. So the first half was all UC San Diego. Second half, the game flipped. GW came out with that energy, is what I spoke about, that they normally start with. They definitely came out of half with that, and it was a dogfight for much of the second half. And they came out with a sense of urgency, led by their upperclassmen backcourt, both Baltimore bred, Brandon Adams and James Bishop. They fought, they scored, they got the stops, they managed to cut the lead to 6, 67-61 with 157 left after an Adams layup. While also having starting for Ricky Lindell Jr. out of the game after an unfortunate injury to his wrist from an ugly fall when he went for a dunk attempt at the 4:27 mark in the second half. that also played a factor in why GW eventually came up short. Look, with Ricky Lindo Jr., what he brings to GW, no one else on that team can match it. They may be able to match certain things, the rebounding, maybe the scoring, maybe the passing, but no one brings everything that he brings. He's their ultimate Swiss Army knife, the guard 1 through 5, 1 through 4, depending on the matchup. And he does so many things. So that hurt. It hurt when he walked out. I hope prayers up to him. Hopefully it's not too bad of an injury, but yeah, he took him a minute to get up, and he was holding it even when he walked off the court. So that definitely didn't help matters. But all in all, in the end, it came right back to the one player who dominated most of the game, and that was Bryce Pope. They cut the lead, like I said, to 6 with 157 left. Bryce Pope made 6. He scored 6 of UC San Diego's final 8 points to hold on GW's late game rally. And that was all she wrote, man. Look, GW, they will host New Hampshire Saturday at 2 p.m. Just to get that out the way. But look, man, they have a lot of talent on GW. They have a lot of talent, but they can't afford to start games slow. As you can see, you can be beaten by anybody. For those that don't know, UC San Diego came in with 1 win. They were 1-4. So that probably added to it. Obviously with the Thanksgiving break knocking on the door. Now, guys are probably looking at it like, well, all right, we're just going to get this W and get up out of here. I know the coaches ain't trying to hear that. There's no excuses. You got to play when you got to play every game. You might as well win it. So you got to bring a certain level of intensity and urgency to every game, no matter the opponent. And the Colonials, they learned that. They saw that last night. It was a winnable game. If they would have just woke up in the first half, cut down on the mistakes, especially the turnovers, rebounded better, and executed better defensively. You know what I mean? And they'd have walked out victorious. It was an unfortunate loss, but it's something that they had to learn from. Got to give Caputo and that staff a lot of credit. It looked like when they were up 12 with about just under 6 minutes to go, UC San Diego was up 12. It looked like the game was about to be a wrap. Kind of got the vibe like, all right, they just want to hold this double-digit lead and win. And the coaching and an adjustment from Caputo and their staff allowed it to become a winnable game late. Especially with the way UC San Diego down the stretch was struggling to hit their free throws, but unfortunately they had a foul. They had to eventually foul Pope, and he don't miss. He don't miss a lot at all. So the one guy that they wouldn't want on the line ended up on the line. He was the one to ice the game, where as some of his teammates, they was missing both free throws. They were going 1 or 2, and that allowed GW life. And they were coming down, executing offensively, scoring, and then keeping the game close to where they legit had a chance to pull this out. But the mistakes from the first half, the turnovers and stuff, it was too much to overcome. And those are the type of games that hurt the most when it was a winnable game. But you didn't do everything necessarily in your power that you're fully capable of doing and are expected to do to make sure you win the game. And that's what doing GW. Like I said, it's early. It's an early season game, but they got some things to work on correct before Saturday's game against New Hampshire. And I expect a much better effort coming out the gate to start the game, man. So we'll see what happens, man. But that's all with me. GW recap. I'll be back this Saturday with another one as GW, like I just said, host New Hampshire. We're going to see how they bounce back. And we also going to see how over the next couple of days, if Ricky Lindo Jr. is healthy, that would be a big deal. If he's not, they need that guy to maximize what this team is, obviously. And so if he's not able to play Saturday, we're going to see who obviously has to step in and not necessarily fill his shoes, but step in and have to step up. Getting that starting nod, which means somebody who's not getting that many minutes will be in the rotation. So guys will have to step up, and we'll see how they handle that, as well as the coaching staff and how they handle that and how they adjust. So it'll be an interesting game on Saturday. See you guys later, and be back on Saturday. Thanks for joining me.